Out of all the content creators over the course of 2020 that have lost credibility, one that seems to elude even the most harshest of critics on YouTube, especially all things considered, has to be IDubbbz. Now, it has been quite a long time since IDubbbz has been relatively mainstream in the YouTube landscape, I'd say. After all, the last Content Cop was over 3 years ago. And that was, believe it or not, that was fucking rice scum. That was a long time ago. But what could IDubbbz have done over the past year to warrant me saying that he has fallen from grace of sorts? Well, it's really simple, and I'll tell you this right now. It is not because of his Simp video. No, it is because of a plethora of different videos. His Simp video being one of them, of course. And in this video, I am going to break down some of the many reasons why IDubbbz has lost credibility, or maybe respect is a better way of phrasing it, in the commentary community and the YouTube community as a whole. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So for this video, I went through some of IDubbbz's recent uploads to get an idea of what his modern content is like. I'll go through them quickly. I'll list all of the 5 of them that I watched very quickly for you. I watched his anti-mask video, which checks piece is the worst video, his school fundraiser video, and his music video. Also his Monopoly prize video. And we'll go through each of them in its own little section. But let's start off talking general. Let's start from the beginning, rather. IDubbbz's kind of fall from grace started very close to the beginning of the year. I believe it was March, when his girlfriend made an OnlyFans account, and people on the internet took offense to this. Well, maybe offense is the wrong word, but they had a problem with it, right? And I know that's semantics, but whatever, right? So, people did not like this, of course, and they made fun of IDubbbz and his girlfriend for it. And he comes out, IDubbbz that being, comes out with his new video that's titled Sex Workers IDubbbz Complains, right? And it gets 6 million views, and its reception... Oh, I almost played it there. Its reception was pretty mixed. It was about 2/3 of the people that watched the video liked it, but 1/3 disliked it, which is not as bad as it can get in terms of being the like to dislike ratio. But still, that is not a level seen by IDubbbz's videos. At least I can't recall any of his other videos being to that level of controversy. And it does come down to the fact that some people are obviously memeing and like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But the actual video itself was not well made, and was very unfocused, and tried to be a lot of things at once, and ultimately, because of that, it said nothing, and the things it did try and say were very frustrating to fans. Obviously, the section where he's like, I want to talk about another topic where it's a section of my audience that thinks they know me, like, that whole bit is probably a sign as to when people started losing a lot of respect for IDubbbz. But to be fair, right, this was not the first video where I think things started to go wrong for IDubbbz. I will go back a little bit to about a year ago, where IDubbbz releases his Full Force video. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think that was probably IDubbbz's last good video. And maybe great would be better. Let's just go with good. The rest of his videos that have been released over the past year have been mediocre at best, boring on average, and at worst, very shit, like his sex worker video, right? Now, the video immediately after Full Force should have given people a sign that things probably were going to be changing for the worst on IDubbbz's video channel. And it was a Reddit video of him reacting to his Reddit, which is very strange, obviously. This is kind of the... You would not expect this sort of lazy, uninspiring content from IDubbbz. I know he has his bad unboxing series of videos, right? But at least that was an example of IDubbbz taking something that's kind of boring and unoriginal and making it creative and funny. And you're going to notice this as a theme throughout this video, but IDubbbz really has kind of lost that touch of making typically boring or uninteresting content funny, because there is a plethora of videos that are just not entertaining. And what is entertaining is purely subjective, of course, but I struggle to see who would enjoy this type of shit, you know? Okay, so his Reddit video happens, and I think he makes another video about his Reddit, 500 edits of the same video, which I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I did not watch, right? But I'm pretty sure that had something to do with his Reddit. But even then, that's not particularly interesting content. He's like reacting to other people's content, which is not very entertaining. He does I won't include these as images, but he does a couple Fiverr videos, tier list videos, I think. And right before his sex worker video, he does a video about less than 50% peanuts. And this was the first bad IDubbbz video that I think I've seen for a long time. At least, like, with other videos, you could see some entertainment value. But this was the first video where it's like, I strictly remember this having, like, no fucking value whatsoever. It was shockingly unfunny. In the sense that it's like, I don't even think there were, like, jokes in the video. I mean, I'm sure there technically were, but it felt so just disconnected from who IDubbbz was as a person and the type of content he made. And it's kind of disappointing, to say the least. Then the next video I've watched was the Monopoly prizes, dumb and critiquing that, and it's like very like obvious shit, right? Which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing. I say gritting my fucking teeth, right? But it wasn't very funny. It's barely entertaining. Then he does this fucking music video in the music industry video, and it's talking about how the conversation of what music do people like is always a bad one, or never a good one, rather, and whatever, right? But it's still not an interesting video. And again, as I've stated, the problem with it all is that he is doing uninteresting topics, kind of like the bad unboxing thing, but there's no creativity, there's no spin on it. It's just the unfucking, like, horrible fucking topic that nobody enjoys, but there's no fucking IDubbbz humor involved, which makes the content absolutely miserable to fucking sit through. He does another documentary, actually. I have not watched this. This might actually be another good IDubbbz video, but I think I might have watched like the first 3 or 5 minutes of it, but it's just something that I don't know. It doesn't have as many views as the first documentary does, though, so maybe that's a sign as to the quality of it. Then he talks about school fundraisers and how they're a scam and stuff, and it's like, okay, again, not a very controversial opinion and not a very entertaining video. he also it's mainly about the prizes and stuff and how it's all a scam, right? And again, it's just not a fucking interesting video. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. Then, this is a very fucking bad one, because this was made a month ago and it has not reached 1 million views, which is almost unheard of for an IDubbbz video, I believe. Like, I'm gonna scroll back through these for a second. Yeah, this is like the first video that's like that. And there's a subtle thing or two in this that I want to talk about that's kind of absent of the content. First off, the video's fucking piss poor. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It is a person rambling about something that nobody cares about, that it almost seems like they themselves don't care about at times. And it's not fun content. And if this is like some sort of gotcha, like 3D, 4D fucking chess, then, well, you fucking got me. But was it worth making miserable, low-effort, piece of shit content? I don't know. But at the end of this video, he says something that actually fucking kind of really aggravates me. And this is going to lead on to the last video I'm going to talk about, in the video that made me want to do this rant. He says something akin to Thanksgiving's coming up, limit social gatherings, and don't travel across the country, and that really fucking pisses me off, obviously. If you've noticed the content on my channel, my philosophical-esque videos and politics videos, you will obviously notice that I very heavily tilt right, and that is not a shock, right? If you've seen some of my content, you could probably gather that. And part of it is because I'm a commentator YouTuber, and my hobby requires free speech for me to actually get any mileage out of this, so that's part of my reasoning. But the sheer fucking fact that this IDubbbz, this kind of like role model of what it means to be a libertarian-esque type of person. Like, this guy is fucking free speech incarnate. One of his catchphrases is literally N-word, F-word, like the racial slur, then homophobic slur. And I have no problem with that. Obviously, I'm not saying that on this YouTube video because, YouTube will fucking chop my dick off, right? But this guy is, like, freedom incarnate. And to hear him get fucking cucked over some stupid, like, unconstitutional lockdown bullshit, it's kind of frustrating. And I know it's safer to, like, limit social gatherings and all that nonsense, right? But at the end of the fucking day, like, my freedoms and your freedoms are infinitely more important than what some fucking governor that does not respect freedoms at all, whether it be freedom of speech, whether that be the right to bear arms, literally anything. My freedoms matter more than their opinion of what I should be doing over the holidays. And now this is to lead into his next video, and I'm going to say this is a fucking bad video, right? I'm an anti-masker and I'm proud, he says in quotation marks. That's the video. Now, and it's 15 minutes long. I played this at double speed, so it was like 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and it still felt like a fucking 20-minute video, even when it was like 8 minutes. So, this is kind of, like, this video, it is very hard to explain, so I'm going to try and take it a little slower than my other points. First off, IDubbbz makes this video that is not very fucking brave at all, right? And that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. However, it is such a, oh man, like, duh, people agree with you. Like, I'm right-leaning, and I'm like, yeah, you should probably wear a mask in public. Do I think it should be fucking mandated? No, this is a country built on fucking freedom of expression and speech, and I think that fucking trumps anything. It trumps a disease with a fucking kill rate that's not even fucking, like, almost non-existent. Not to say that it doesn't exist, it definitely does, and it should be a concern. But again, liberty trumps safety every single time. Anybody who wants to sacrifice your liberties for safety will lose both and deserves neither, or something like that. I forget the exact quote from, like, Ben Franklin or whatever. But it's not a fucking brave video. It's a very, like, like, high five, guys, right? I'm with the cool kids. And it's a fucking conformist bullshit, too. Which is almost just as bad. Because he's like IDubbbz. He's the N-word, F-word guy. I don't want to sound like a fucking toddler, but, you know, YouTube makes me do that, right? But to hear him conform, like, oh, and this is actually, like, an actual objective criticism of IDubbbz. In the video, he says, that you, like, people that are, like, saying, but the number is so low, don't care about, like, people, and they think of it, like, he equivalates it to people thinking that, like, dead, like, oh, there's 1% of disease in cows, and it only has a 1% mortality rate. Like, he equates it to people thinking, to, like, people treating other people like they're as worth as, that they're equivalent to, like, their life's worth is equivalent, sorry, to a fucking cow. Which is stupid. But then he goes on in this same video to say that if the cost of all of if the pandemic was for, like, several companies, like, he used Ubers to, like, door deliver and stuff, right? If that was the cost of it, then it was worth it. Now, that could be a fucking joke, but he does it in the snarky, shit-eating Ethan Klein version of telling a joke, where it's done in a tone that you can't deduce sarcasm from, a tone where you can't tell people are exaggerating, in a tone that is similar to the entire tone that they've been using throughout the entire video, so you can't fucking tell what they actually believe, whether it's a joke or not. And that's genuinely fucking frustrating, obviously. And that is why this video's, I made this video because of this video. It's fucking dog shit. I hate it so goddamn much. It's utterly worthless. And I don't really know what else to say than that. Is that throughout 2020, IDubbbz has suffered many blows after blows, whether it be the simp fucking thing, whether it be people berating him for liking his girlfriend, because she is a bit of a toxic piece of shit, according to allegations and stuff like that, and things that have been proven. But it has been a rough year for IDubbbz, and I do, in a way, feel sympathetic for him, because at least, unlike Ethan Klein, who will be getting a video made on him, don't you worry about that, at least with IDubbbz, he hasn't done anything particularly nasty. Though, to be fucking fair, he did say, oh, it's no surprise Leafy got banned, and tried justifying that shit. Like, fuck off, IDubbbz. Fuck right off. Go fuck yourself. Actually, yeah. At least, unlike Ethan Klein, IDubbbz has not done actual harm this year to anybody, I don't think. He's just had a couple shitty opinions and very bad videos, which I'll take those over Ethan Klein promoting a fucking doxer, or trying to get people's sponsors and livelihoods fucking taken away, or fucking constantly putting a mentally ill person on their podcast for entertainment while criticizing Keemstar for doing the exact same thing with FouseyTube. Ethan Klein's another video on itself, but anyways, that's what I gotta say about IDubbbz. He's made shitty videos this year, he's really fucked up, and as much as I want to say, man, I hope 2021 his content improves, I have some serious doubts that will be the case, and it really is unfortunate. But with that all being said, I know this has been a long video, 20 minutes long, easily one of my longest videos I've done since I've been uploading daily. This is going to be posted late at night. I hope the algorithm doesn't completely fuck me over because of that. But anyways, I've been KB Baby, right? God bless your soul. Stay rad, don't be radicalized. And I'm signing out. Peace.